everyone, welcome to Tech Thursday. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Cassie.
And this week we thought we'd do kind of a more general thing. I got asked to speak at a class about marketing, so I won't hold the sheet up too much because it's going to be like the reverse because it's the whole mirror thing. But we did 10 marketing tips on how not to be a sleazeball. If you send us a private message to our Facebook page with your email address, I will gladly send you this PDF so that you can have it forever and ever too. Because what I did was I printed it off and then I forgot it here before the class. So I had to email it anyway. So I have it in PDF format ready to go. So just send us your email via private message on Facebook and I'll get that over to you. So just FYI. So this was a general entrepreneurship class about people who were interested in starting businesses. So I thought we'd do some general marketing things about how not to be a sleazy, weird person about your marketing. So my first tip is having a central place to get all your information because, and typically that's your website. In some cases it could be a Facebook page, but website is best. Even if it's but put links to all your social media, put like a list of your offerings, even if it's super basic, giving everyone one place to go is really key. So, yeah. So that's tip number one. Give them one place because you're going to tell your customer over and over again the one place. And it seems like really annoying to you because you keep saying the same one thing over and over again, but your customer only hears one thing. And they can remember one thing a lot easier than they can remember to go on YouTube and look you up or go on Instagram and remember your exact handle. Just send them one place and have everything there so they can find you.
I'm sorry, I don't have.
No, it's okay.
No.
No problem. What about tip 2? Think of mobile users.
Alright, this says recognizing that 50% of your internet searches are coming through your phone. So, making sure that everything, it's really easy to test. You probably have a phone yourself, so if you're not sure, just look on your phone. And if your pictures aren't loading right, just making sure that everything's kind of responsive. And if you don't have a mobile device or if you have an iPhone and you want to see what it looks like on an Android, have a friend check it out for you.
Right. And there's online simulators too that you can put in URLs and it'll pretend to be an Android phone. I'm not sure how reliable those are. It's best, like Cassie says, to have a real Android user test it out, but it's still better than nothing. I was looking at a calendar on a local website, and I won't say who it was, but like it was like a month calendar, and there was only Monday and Tuesday, and I couldn't like move the calendar to like see the other days of the schedule.
I will say calendars tend to be the worst.
Yeah.
In terms of mobile users.
Yeah, so just think about your people, because like what I had to do is I had to be like, okay, when I'm at my desktop, I'll have to look this up, and then I forgot to do it for like 3 days. So, if I would have had that information on hand, that would have been cool. Yeah. So tip 3 is collecting people's email addresses because it's the only way you can reach out to someone after the fact is if you have their email address. If they follow you on Facebook, you could post an update and maybe they didn't see it. But if you have their email address, you can reach out to that person directly. But people don't just give it up these days, right, Cass? You gotta work for it. So you have to have some kind of, even just like a recipe booklet, if you're like a health person or just give them something that doesn't cost you a lot of money, but doesn't cost you a lot of money, but is valuable to the person getting it. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything giant, just something for giving their email address. Because if you think about it, like that's a future customer or that's a potential repeat customer that you've gotten for each email address you have. And, even if someone hates Instagram or will never use Snapchat, they probably have an email address because that's what you need to do anything online. You can't even buy something without an email address. So that is
a really easy thing would be like if you have a product, just making like a really easy PDF, like maybe even like 1 to 3 pages.
Yeah.
Just like why it's useful.
Yeah.
And how like maybe 5 innovative ways you can use it. to
Right.
make your life better.
Yeah.
Or yeah, something like that. So you should probably already have some ways that your product is easy to, or like why people should buy it. You know, that's something that you should probably have on your brain.
Yeah.
So it's easy for you to generate, and it's valuable to them, but it's not super costly to you.
Exactly. So give them something for them giving you an email address, because that's how giving works. You know, give and receive. So tip number 4, do something once and use multiple times. So our email newsletter is actually a good example of how we do this, because what we used to do is write a separate article for our email newsletter only, and that was fine, but it was, you know, an extra thing we had to do. So we changed the format, and now we have a different format that's a little easier.
Yep, we have a, sorry.
It's okay. Are you all right?
I'm not feeling super great, so I'm trying to
Okay.
kind of
No worries. If you wanna, do you wanna go chill?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I already started talking. So.
All right. No worries. Okay.
If you, or we have a theme for each month, so that theme kind of dictates, I'd say about 3 to 4 of our blog posts, and then we kind of use it in our newsletter and kind of just compile them in a way that like everyone can see the list of those specific blog posts, and then there's an intro that kind of says this is why we chose this, this is why it's important to you.
Right. So if you think about it, we write the blog post, and everybody who's email subscribed to our blog gets the blog post via email. So we write the blog post once. It goes out to email. We don't do anything extra for that. And then it becomes part of our email newsletter every month. So then, again, we didn't write a separate article. We're just sort of curating things together in the newsletter in a way that's interesting. And what's cool about it is that since we switched this format, it's a lot less work, and people like it better, which is always like a nice...
Yeah. I mean, as fun as our newsletter was to write, it was really time consuming, and it was pretty content heavy.
Right.
It was like longer, or I don't know if it was necessarily longer than our typical blog post, but
Yeah.
it could definitely compete, so.
For sure. So yeah, so think about if you're going to do something, you should spend at least double the time marketing the thing as you spent doing it. Which I know feels really counterintuitive, because you're like, well, I should have taken more time to do it. But you want to, you know, either talk about it leading up to it or talk about it after the fact, depending on what's appropriate. So, you know, put an email newsletter. If you're doing a video, you can rip the audio from the video and you can make it, you know, a podcast. Or you could have someone do a text to, you know, could like transcribe it, and you can use it as a blog post. Like, we could pull a few different fun quotes from this, and we could make Instagram pictures and put them on Instagram. Like, if you do something once, use it in multiple ways, because it'll make it much more worth your while, and you'll put a lot more work or a lot more thought into the thing, rather than having to move on to the next thing and producing a lot of stuff.
Right.
So you'll just have a better end product.
And I will say, like, those blog posts, in addition to getting emailed out, they also get posted on social media automatically.
That's true.
Another multiple thing.
Yep. So we write a blog. Thanks for the like, whoever did that. So we post a blog. It goes to the email list of email subscribers. It gets automatically shared on social media, and it gets put in our email newsletter for the month. So like, we've written the blog post once, but we've gotten a ton of usage out of it. And you know, we probably, like I said, spent double the time promoting it as we did writing it. So. Number 5, get a little help from your friends sparingly. Be really specific about that.
Can you imagine if the Beatles song was like changed to add the word sparingly? What that would
Get a
sound
little
like.
help from your friends sparingly.
But not a lot.
Have a little help from your friends, but send them really specific links so they can help you. So like an example of this is like Anchor Space. When we opened up, we found, you know, we were getting a couple of Google reviews, but we needed like 3 more. Fun fact, Google really likes it when your business has 5 reviews or more, apparently. And the algorithm, like suddenly they start treating you the way you should be treated. So what I did was I looked at our list and I emailed 5 people that already had Gmail addresses. Now the reason I did that was because those people already had Google accounts. So I wasn't asking them to go create an account specifically to write this. so I was like, hey, we just need a few Google reviews, and then I linked right to the tab where they write the review. So they literally clicked on the link. If they were logged into Google, they just had to write it and press send, and that was it. Like, it was super easy on their end. They didn't have to look for it. They didn't have to look up the business thing and figure out where to click, or it was just super easy. So if you're gonna ask people for a favor, be really specific and make it really easy for them to do it. Don't just invite everybody to everything you do.
Oh god, that's annoying.
Yeah.
So Google's basically the version of like, the once one boy starts to like you, like, other people start to pay attention. Type
Oh yeah.
Except it's kind of like a little different, obviously. I was trying to think of a better example, but that's
No,
like
it's a
the
good
first thing that
example.
popped into my head, like,
It's a good point. The
once
law of
once you
attraction.
yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh wow, this person's relevant. Maybe I should start liking them too.
Right.
The sparingly part. Additionally, like, I just saw this kind of the asking people for LinkedIn recommendations about certain skills. That's definitely a like sparingly with your friends. Like, colleagues is one thing, but like if my mom just likes all my skills on LinkedIn.
That's awesome. That's what moms do.
But, right, no, I know, but it's kind of like, we don't have the same last name, so it's different, but...
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, so like you're like slow your roll, mom. And Kathy, if you're watching, keep,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
keep
I think
doing
she's
it.
only actually given me one, so...
Okay.
And, yeah, my brother's definitely given me one, but they were unsolicited.
Yes. Right.
But, yeah, it's not bad to get those recommendations, but it's like, the only people that's liking your stuff are like friends that don't necessarily know anything about your certain skill, like someone who doesn't necessarily know that or hasn't like read my blog endorses me for blogging.
Yeah.
Like that's not really legit.
Right. So, but that to be said is ask for help, but like be really specific and just and understand that in being specific, you're much more likely to get it. Because if you're one of those people who's constantly crying wolf, people are just going to get really annoyed. Yeah, and they're not going to help you at all.
If you want like a testimonial, like just pull quotes from people.
Yeah.
You can say like, go to this link on my website, fill out this thing, and like if you're going to post it on Facebook, just like give them the link and give them the instructions and just make it as easy as possible.
Yes. Yeah, so. Because people want to help, they just don't want to figure out how to help you while they're doing it. They just want to get right to the helping part.
Exactly. Which is good.
Totally. It's a good thing to feel.
Yeah.
Tip number 6 is pick 1 or 2 things and do them well. So, for example, even I don't think we're great at every social network. And I'm not saying, you can't do everything. And it's okay to just pick a couple of things and just go with it. If you're just like, I've decided to draw a firm line in the sand with Snapchat. I'm just not cool enough. I'm okay with it. That's my line, and I'm glad that other people like are up with it and it's helping people. That's great. I'm just saying that
only Snapchat like my brother and Michaela now.
Yeah.
Michaela's my brother's girlfriend. So other people know.
Right.
So those are like really the only people and my cousin Kara. Those are like the 3 people that I...
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's okay to just pick a couple things, because here's the thing is, it's one thing to pick where your customers are at. So like, let's say that you were a lifestyle brand and you were like, okay, I want to be on Instagram, but like, let's say you just really don't feel it. It's just like, you're not going to keep up with it if, Snapchat is super lame now. Oh, okay, Ben. Thanks, Ben, for backing us up. What I'm saying is it's okay to like not do things, and to just pick like one or be like, you know what, I'm gonna really be good at Facebook, and I'm gonna do an email newsletter consistently, and also, just do those 2 things.
Calls you out now.
Oh, do they?
They send you or they send your followers like a notification, like so and so has just posted a picture for the first time in a while. Like,
God,
it's.
Jeez,
I don't know how long a while is for them, but sometimes they get those notifications. Okay.
It's true, but it's a while. Yeah, I think there's some unit of time.
They usually do like the first photo one, which is pretty standard, but now they do the a while one, which is like, ooh.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Instagram.
If you're a business person who's a lifestyle brand, that might not be, you might not want to.
Right.
You want to avoid the Instagram shame.
The Instagram shame. So yeah, it's okay. Pick a few things and do them well. It doesn't have to be exactly where your customers are. If you don't feel it, you're not going to keep it up. So it's just embrace it. It's fine. Number 7, send an email update at least quarterly. So even if you think email is stupid, okay, and I get that some of you are probably of that camp, the thing is, it just helps keep you top of mind. So when we send out our email newsletter, I probably get between 6 and 10 emails from people being like, oh, hey, I've been thinking about you. And I'm like, yeah, it's because we just sent the email newsletter and you just saw the name and we're like, oh yeah, I gotta call them. That's literally what happens. I'm not even sure if they, and some people really like them. And like, I have people who like save them and just really get a kick out of them. But you know, once a quarter, you can let people know some stuff going on. You know, every business or nonprofit has something going on every 2 to 3 months.
Exactly. And I just thought of another terrible analogy.
Oh, good.
So
I love terrible analogies.
Email survives 20 years later.
Yeah.
Which I like that it's part of the Snapchat is cool, but email survives 20 years later because Snapchat doesn't last that long.
Right.
Most people know that already.
Totally.
Anyway, so email is basically like, you know, the canned foods in the bunker. Like
Email is the canned foods in the bunker.
Like it's gonna last. Like you're gonna be okay because you have this.
Right. And, you know,
I was gonna say it's like spam, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to like an email to spam because that's like the food spam. But.
It's your canned foods in the bunker. Yeah, you don't need to eat it every week or even every day, but like once in a while, like, you just want a can of beans. Yeah. And send your customer
like it's winter in Maine right now, and you get a store like you have some sustenance.
That's a good point. Your email is like your mainstay, and you can just even send like
live off it for years.
You can live off it for years. No, it's good. It's good. But yeah, you can just send a quarterly email, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be like some new products you have, or some events you have coming up, or even if you don't have anything new, because let's face it, there are some periods of time where you don't have a lot new. You could even just share some useful resources. Maybe you've been, there's a couple of useful links that you can send people, but just keep people top of mind, by sending out a little something. And if you feel ambitious and want to do a coupon or something, you're welcome to do that, just to see who checks it. But yeah, let people know you're still alive and you're still working on stuff and what you're up to, because people are curious. They want to know. Inquiring minds, they want to know.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay, tip 8, make decisions with data and not just your gut. So the great thing about the internet, well, one of the great things about the internet is that you have so much data at your disposal. Mm-hmm. And if someone is, I think Christopher Brown is still alive. Nice. Glad you're still alive, Christopher Brown. And an email to all your customers will let them know that. So, for example, I think a lot of people say they like something, but they, are maybe trying to be polite, or they think they like it until they get it, or some combination of those things. So, your friends can be like, oh, I love those t-shirts that you have at your store.
But like, friends have bought the t-shirts?
Yes. How many friends have bought the t-shirts? How many people have looked at the t-shirts online? How many people put them in the cart and not gone through the checkout process? Mm-hmm. So, and even if you don't do e-commerce, if you share a link on Facebook about something and nobody liked it or seemed very interested in it, I mean, certainly bring it up the similar topic at a different time to see if it's...
Yeah, and like check out like how many people actually saw it. Like if only 7 people saw it, then like that might not be the best.
Right. So what you're looking for is like percentage of people who saw it versus did something. And so what we found, for example, is like, I think we share some articles about Twitter sometimes. But not a lot of people, I noticed on Facebook, not a lot of people click on the Twitter articles. They click on more of the Facebook or the Instagram or the Pinterest articles. Mm-hmm. So over time, what we're going to do, of course, is we're not going to post as much about Twitter because people are less interested in it. So just use your data and your gut should tell you some things, but look at your numbers, because you can tell a lot about what people are doing, because they're not going to walk up to you in the store and be like, oh, Cassie, that Instagram photo you shared was like really inspirational and da da da. They're going to either like it or not like it. They're going to click on it or not click on it. They're going to buy it or not buy it. It's very binary, but here we are. So
yeah, it's kind of like another example would be like a Facebook event, like
right.
how many people say they're coming versus how many people actually come.
Right.
The opposite, sort of.
Opposite.
Well, the opposite, like going with your data, not just your gut. Like if you send out one email newsletter and you're kind of just like meh, but you got a lot of response from it, like maybe you should kind of flip around and think like, okay, well that actually did a lot better than I thought it would. Maybe
exactly.
I should really. So there's things being unsuccessful that you like, and then things being successful that you weren't so sure about. So
right.
Data will help you figure that out.
Yeah, and if you need help sorting through it, there's ways to get through it. So, all right. See you, Chris. Thanks for watching. He's got to head out. Okay, so tip number 9, think about different price points. So really recently, I've been working with a fine arts person, and he sells his paintings for thousands of dollars. Now, the thing is, your friends, as much as they like you, might not ever buy a $5,000 painting from you. It's nothing personal. Most people just don't have $5,000 lying around to, use for that sort of thing. And it's not, but they want to support you. So, they like all your Instagram posts and everything, but if you go from 0 to 5,000, it's hard, right? So thinking about turning those paintings into like note cards or into prints that people could buy, that gives your friends the opportunity to maybe participate.
It was funny. So I hadn't read any of that at all, but when you were saying like $5,000 painting, I was like, yeah, I could settle for like a 3x5 print of said painting.
Right?
I think that's more my speed.
Right, and so your friends could still support you financially. I mean, they can still support you by liking your stuff and, commenting and sharing it and all of that, but
sharing it with like rich people.
Right, sharing with rich people who can buy your $5,000 painting. But the point is that you're taking advantage of different parts of your market by having things that are at different price points. And the internet allows you to sell things at different price points. You can, print t-shirts, what do they call it? On demand, or you can make a small set of you can run a small set of note cards and like sell them on Etsy, so online allows you to sell things at different price points and try things out that maybe you haven't thought about in terms of diversifying your market and allowing other people to participate in what you're doing if people are inspired by it.
Yeah, I think we have an older blog post about that sort of the sales goblet one.
Yes, yeah. So maybe we'll link to that in the show notes here. That's a good point. And then we have number 10, which is you have a specific customer and that's okay. So, there's going to be people who are not going to smell what you're stepping in, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
It's true in life and in business.
In life and in business. And rather than spending a lot of time convincing these people that aren't smelling what you're stepping in that you're cool, it's just, you just go find the other people.
Yeah.
And some of those people who weren't smelling it, they might come around.
Right.
But they might not.
Do you.
And that's okay. Yeah, you do you, The first website that we had was like, I had a bright pink background. And I was like, you know what? If someone is not going to buy something from me because I have a bright pink background on the website, then like, whatever, it's fine. So if your trademark is calling people dude, or if you have a pink website, or, there's going to be certain choices you make that are going to accidentally alienate people. But you're not doing it because you're trying to scare them away. You're just trying to be who you are. And that will bring about the right crowd for you. So don't be afraid to make a decision. Someone was talking or something about, we were talking about fart jokes or something. I was like, you know what? If you want to tell a fart joke, it's fine. If you're not like actively hurting anyone, it's cool.
Yeah, if you're not doing it while like, I don't know, twisting someone's arm behind their back.
Right. But if somebody doesn't like that's okay. There's different strokes for different folks, and there's all the different ways to say that. And if you think about it, there is no way, if everybody on Earth, how many people on Earth? Is it 7 billion now or something?
It's growing every day.
It's growing every, yeah, the point is, if 7 billion people walked up to you right now and said, I want to buy your product, you couldn't serve them anyway.
Yeah.
So, let them be served by other people.
Even if you're like McDonald's or Walmart.
Yeah,
Just know
even if you're a giant company, you can't serve everybody. And when you think about it that way, you realize there's, you know, plenty of room in the marketplace for everybody, not, you know, for you and your competition. And you're, you know, someone else can serve those people who don't like your pink website.
Right.
You know, it's okay.
And kind of a segue, or not a segue, branching off a little bit, just based on recent experience. If you're not super fond of the way someone else is doing something, don't be rude about it. Like, you know?
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
true.
It's not like you see, I don't know. I think it would be strange if someone like took personal offense to your pink website
Right.
and said, I don't like your website, and also you're a terrible person. Like,
Right.
That's just not necessary.
Right. And most people are sane and don't think things like that.
Exactly.
They're just going to be like, oh, this isn't my person, you know? But yeah, but don't
Occasionally
don't be a jerk face.
But yeah, if you do make a decision that, you know, is a right decision for you and your business, you may or may not have to deal with that.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
And,
True.
you know, chin up.
True that. Yeah. Keep on not being a sleazeball.
Exactly.
And so, like I said, I made this, and like I don't mean to keep holding it up because I get that it's reverse for you, but it's a one-page PDF with basically the things we just said on it. If you leave your email, you probably don't want to leave it as a comment on the video, but if you can do that, but you can also just private message our Facebook page, and we will email this to you, and you'll have it.
Yeah.
And I even have some fun resources I like on the bottom of different blogs and podcasts and books that I like about marketing. It's just super general, but it's a great place to start. And as I was writing it, I was realizing like, okay, I could stand to look at some of these things a little bit more often.
And we will not do sleazy things with your email.
No, totally not. So, I don't know. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I feel like I should apologize for that day that I wrote on the blackboard and like made everyone dizzy because they had to read backwards letters.
What I meant to do, so if you are going to do a Facebook Live video because you use a front-facing camera, you can print things off mirror in a printer. So what I could have done to show this to you is I could have done one copy that was mirror image, and holding it up, it would actually look like it was facing the correct direction for you. So we can actually do things with notes. We just need to remember to print them off, reverse, and then maybe have a hard time reading them ourselves. So maybe we have a copy that's right and a copy that's mirrored.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so we can totally do that. We have the technology. We just, whoops, happens. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Yes.
And until then, just if you have anything that you want to share or questions to have, you can either leave a comment on this video or you can send us a message through Facebook or through the website, breakingeveninc.com.
Yes.
Yep.
We will be there.
We will be there because we're on the internet.
We're in the internet.
We are the internet. No, okay, we're not that. But all right, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye.